Hey guys, Rob Shoegraph here with Three Storm Fitness. Oh, I don't know what that was. Today I want to talk about back pain, lower back pain, what I do for lower back pain. I don't normally have lower back pain. I try to instill lower back pain for the most part. I mean, there are some congenital issues, some things you're born with that can give you a disadvantage for sure. But most lower back pain, just from what I've gathered, reading about it, talking to people, whatnot, observing people as a trainer, and just in general, people watching, being a stalker, what I found is that people, I like this position better, is that people tend to have lower back pain. They're kind of their own worst enemy. It's faulty movement pattern, so to speak, so not hinging properly at the hips, bending over, using their lower backs, their spine as a fulcrum point, sitting all day long. I've talked about this before, this kind of stuff before. There's just a number of things, and lately though I've been experiencing a little bit of it. It's one of the reasons is I've mentioned this before. I don't really have an internet connection in my house. I live kind of in BFE, and so I have to go to the library to work. And when I want to have a good internet connection, I'm getting somewhere with this. So I have to sit down. I have a standing desk. I've done a review before. I'll put a link to that, a Veridesk. I have a standing desk at home, but I have to sit at the library. Sometimes I'm in there for like 4 hours working. And then, I try to get up and everything and do my stretches and whatnot, but I don't always get to. But what I found, since I've been training heavy lately and sitting heavy lately, it's kind of been a bad combination for my lower back. So I want to show you just some exercises that I do, my favorites, and sometimes I just throw all these in together, just kind of have, hopefully this doesn't take too long, but like it's just 10 minutes where I'm just concentrating on trying to alleviate some tension from my lower back. So I'm going to show you what we're talking about here. We're going to be hitting it from a few different ways. I did a little rant video a while back, a month ago or so, where I was talking about, if you saw the video, you'll know what I'm saying. If you don't, just, ignore me for the next minute. I was talking about being tortured by horses pulling your arms apart, and how you don't think, if you're in that situation, fortunately I haven't been yet, if you're in that situation, you're not going to be saying, I wish I was stronger to pull these horses in. You're going to be saying, I wish these horses would stop ripping my arms off. And that's kind of what your body is doing a lot of times. A lot of the reason for low back pain is because you have these tension. You have tension pulling you one way, tension pulling you another way, and your back's kind of stuck, caught in the middle. That is like super stupid, dumbed down way to put it, but that's more or less what's happening. So we're going to try to alleviate some of those areas that are pulling on you, so to speak, or causing that extra tension, that unneeded tension. So we're gonna be going after the hip flexors. We're gonna be going after some connective tissue in the hips themselves, and we're gonna be doing some like spinal decompression, some poor man's tricks for that. So one thing I'm gonna have a foam roller, I'm gonna have a lacrosse ball, and I'm gonna have a medicine ball. This is actually a PVC pipe. I say a foam roller. So if you don't have a foam roller, get a PVC pipe or a wine bottle or something like that. For self-myofascial release. If you don't have a lacrosse ball, you can use a tennis ball or a baseball or a golf ball, whatever. The harder, the hurtier. Anything, just about anything will do. Lacrosse ball, I prefer. If you're watching like Kelly Starrett's videos and things like that, he's big into it. As far as this, you could use like a little squishy. I wouldn't actually start with a med ball. We'll get to that in a second. You could use like a squishy, like Walmart ball. You find those big bins, they're like $1 a piece, or like a child's soccer ball would be good. Another one's a yoga tune-up ball. Jill Miller, I think, makes that. Anyways, that's good too. Gorgeous ball, that's what it is. All right, so we're going to roll out the quads first. I'm going to start at the quads, roll them out. There's tons of videos about rolling out your quads. I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's very, very intense for a lot of people. I almost threw up the first time I did it. I'm not even kidding. My quads were so tight, I had no idea. So you're going to start from the hips, work your way all the way down. Just get on it and just breathe and get it done. Go side to side if you can. Front down, up and down is a little more forgiving. but side to side across the grains of the muscles really gets at it. The reason for that is, at least as far as I'm aware, is we want to eventually open up the hip flexors. And a lot of times you get sticking points, you get restrictions. I don't know why I'm holding this. You get restrictions in your quads. So a lot of times I'll have people do a stretch that we're going to do here in a moment. Here's a version of it. It's like this lunge stretch, this deep lunge stretch where you're squeezing your butt and you're pushing your hips forward. We'll get, like I said, there's multiple versions of that. We'll get to them. People will do that and I'll say, hey, where are you feeling that? Just kind of get an idea where they are. And they're like, oh, my quads down here. Whew. Well, your quads are going to restrict you from, if you have super tight quads, it's going to restrict you from really opening up the part we're going for, which is in your hip flexors, all this junk in here. So that's why we're loosening up the quads. They're a contributor. Another thing you might want to do, especially if you have hip pain or tight hips, is kind of hit the up on the hip socket up here, like your tensor fascia latte. Sounds like a delicious Starbucks beverage. Your TFL. That area through here, I'm basically just putting the ball on the joint, kind of, you can almost feel like where your hips rotate. You can feel, it's kind of, it might make you sick just thinking about it, but you feel that joint moving around, or the ball moving around the joint. Put the ball on that and move things around and just really grind in there. Sometimes I'll throw that in there too. All right, then I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to loosen up. This is Glute Smash. I first saw this from Joe DeFranco's Limber 11 DVD. It's a fantastic, or not DVD, video. By the way, for back pain, just watch that video and do that. I mean, it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. A lot of good exercises in there. Do both of these things. Do what I'm doing and then do what he's doing, if you really want to get at it. You just put this ball on the edge of your butt, kind of on your hips, near your like piriformis and all that funky stuff, and drive it down in there. Just really get at it. Loosen that up. You can kind of like tense your glutes if you can, and then relax them, drive into it, tense and relax, contract, relax. It's another good way to get it on both sides. So that's going to help from all the tension, all the connective tissue, especially if you're sitting, that's pulling. That's going to help loosen that up. Then we're going to take this ball here. This is just absolutely terrible. Again, I wouldn't start with the medicine ball. It's pretty intense. But, what's his name? Trevor Bachmeyer from Smashworks kind of made a nice description. He said, pretend you have, on gut smashing, pretend, you got your guts here. Pretend you got 4 quadrants, all right? So, boom, 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 boom. Start with the lower quadrants and just get in there and relax. Contract, fight against the ball, and then relax against the ball. Melt onto it. That's what Joe Miller calls it. Melt into the ball. Melting. And just chill out in there. Kind of grind around. You can feel you're going after like your iliopsoas, which connects up to your spine. It's one of the only ways I know, without any help, to get at those muscles, to loosen that up, which gets real tight, especially from sitting all day. So hit all 4 quadrants. Spend about a minute on each, 2 minutes on each. Lower, upper, and just relax. You're going to hate this, by the way. You're going to absolutely hate it. You will feel fantastic afterward, though. By the way, I would do these after your workout, especially the glute smashing. Or not the glute smashing. I would do this specifically after your workout, or I like to do it before bed. It kind of helps relax me, and once you get off the ball, you feel better. When you're on it, the last thing you're thinking about is going to sleep. But when you get off of it, it also stimulates your your vagus nerve, which is associated with like parasympathetic tones and whatnot. So that's another kind of a little mystical way to get a little better night's sleep. Settle you down a little bit. Come regulate or mount up. I don't know what I'm talking about. I do, but I don't. It sounds like it. Okay, so you get the point. Then we got everything loosened up. We got all of our self-myofascial release going on. Let's do a little thing called the couch stretch. There's a number of ways to do this. If you have a couch, that's great. Step out like this. And again, we're not extending our backs. We're not extending our lower back. We're not getting all lordotic. We are squeezing our glutes and we're firing those hips forward. And you're just going to open it up and just chill out there. Smashworks, he says, do it for 2 minutes each side. That's for like the viscoelasticity properties and all that fun stuff. Just do it, period. So yeah, set the clock for 2 minutes and do it if you can. Square your hips up. Raise your hand if you really want to get up deep in the psoas. But do that on each side. If that's too intense for you, if it hurts your knee or whatever, this lunge position is also great. It's just about the same thing. Just basically doing the same thing except you don't have that leg up. Or you could even, hopefully you can still see me here, put a leg up here. It could be on anything, like on a stair or whatever, and then just drive in forward. Again, you're just driving the hips forward. So that's going to help stretch your hip flexors now that they're nice and supple from all the smashing. Then, finally, you should start, I bet your back problem's feeling pretty good at this point. Then finally, we will, I did not prepare this ahead of time. Hopefully, can you see that? Here, let's do this. Freaking cameraman, man. We're gonna do a little hanging. That's good enough. Chilling up here, grab a bar. If you have one, pull a bar, whatever. I like to make like a little bullwinkle. Hands. I guess that's what it is. We're going to grab the bar and we're just going to hang. Just relax. Just relax. I have my feet, my toes on the ground right now. Part of that is because I'm just too tall. Another part is sometimes I like to ease into it. It's a lot for the back to handle, lower back to handle, just doing a dead hang like that without anything underneath you. So ease into it and you're going to feel your back, everything just kind of decompresses. It's really great for your shoulders too. I like to do that last because I found that before the gut smashes and everything, I'm still way too tight up through here. And it just feels like I'm not doing anything except maybe just hurting myself. So after you got everything loosened up, everything just seems to just drop into place. Literally. A lot easier. What you can do there, if you really want to get at it, unless you have just freakish grip strength, you're not going to be able to hold that for 2 minutes. But set a timer and then start with a minute and then hold as long as you can and stop the clock when you need a break and then pop back up there. Get a collective minute and then go 2 minutes, down the road. It's good stuff. So do all that stuff. Let me know what you think. Hopefully it helps with some of your back pain. Of course, if your doctor or your physical therapist or whoever, somebody who's more credentialed than myself, tells you not to do any of this stuff, then by all means don't. Do whatever they say. They better have an answer though. This is just the stuff that works for me. Okay? This is stuff that I do and it's wonderful. If you can not sit down and on your butt all day long, that's also pretty good. Alright guys, Rob Shoecraft here, 3 Storm Fitness. Please subscribe to my videos if you like this sort of thing. And have a good day. Take care of your back.